Good evening and welcome to the John Gaunt podcast. You are living in Starmer's soft touch Britain. And I don't know about you, I've had enough. I think he's almost, him there, Starmer, he's as guilty as the monsters either side of him for these deaths that we're having. How many more people need to be raped, murdered, assaulted, attacked with screwdrivers on train platforms in Warsaw like Rhiannon White only 5 days ago? Her bloke who did that to her was found guilty. And then today we give 500 quid to a man from Ethiopia to make sure he doesn't kick off on the plane whilst we deport him. I'd have put him in handcuffs. I'd have put him in leg ankles. I'd have done what the Americans would have done and chucked him in the cargo hold, gagged and bound if necessary. How dare this piece of filth demand £500? And why would somebody like Starmer give it him? And then people say, Gaunty, don't be so stupid. It's not Starmer giving him the money. No, you're right. It's the Home Office. But who sets the rules for the Home Office? Oh, would that be the Home Secretary? And who works for the Home Secretary? Who does she work to? Oh, is that Keir Starmer? Yes, that'll be right. But where is Keir Starmer? He's the invisible man. Yes, Wally turned up today in the Commons and got slaughtered by Kemi Badenoch, but he's not really spoken about these dreadful murders. I've got to be careful about talking about what happened yesterday, in fact, the day before, but he's not even really spoken about that. I think he's done one expression of regret. And now we find out Safi Daywood has been charged with that murder. So we now have to wait and see what happens in court. Wayne Broadbent, just a normal guy, a dustbin man, taking his dog for a walk, gets caught up in this and is slaughtered. And if you've seen the video, and I really would not recommend seeing it, as you know, probably, it's all over the internet. I watched it, kind of felt a duty to watch it, and then felt unclean afterwards, felt sick, because this is somebody's dad, somebody's husband, somebody's lover, and he's being stabbed to death about 15 times, and you see it in the video. I don't need to see it ever again, but Starmer needs to. And Starmer needs to get a grip on this country. Then this morning, as I say, well, let's just go through the details of it. Welcome to Soft Touch Britain, Starmer style. It's the Eldorado for illegal migrants. No wonder they don't want to stop in France or Germany. Come here, kill somebody, and or abuse a 14-year-old, get let out of prison by accident, and end up with 500 quid in your pocket, which, by the way, is a year's salary back in Ethiopia. So I'm pulling back the curtain on a Britain that has definitely now lost its backbone. A Britain where an Ethiopian offender, as I just said, who sexually assaulted a 14-year-old, walks away with 500 quid of your tax dollars. Are you happy what your Prime Minister is doing? And also, a new story which you may not have even heard about yet, but it'll be all over your papers tomorrow. Another small boat migrant, another person who entered the country illegally, stabbed a father of three to death in a bank. This guy was just queuing up to get his wages out for his staff. This madman came in and stabbed him to death. I'm not making this up. This isn't fiction. This is Starmer's dystopian Britain. But it's happening right now. So I'm going to break down how government weakness, it is government weakness, but it's not just his government, it's the one before. How the leeching human rights lawyers are exploiting legal loopholes and the endless excuses that have turned this great country, the country that won 2 world wars, that liberated Europe, it's been turned into a soft touch paradise. An Eldorado for illegal immigrants and lawbreakers. And it's you and us, me, honest taxpayers who are left to foot the bill. Don't go anywhere. Hit like, hit the share, and let's tell the truth that they don't want us to discuss. If you've got an opinion, I want to hear it from you now. There is so much to talk about. I was pretty outraged last night, but today I'm completely at my wit's end. And Starmer, has he done the big TV address? Now, would this have been different, for example, if the victims were ethnic minorities? If Wayne had been a Muslim, or I don't even know if I should be saying this, but this is what I'm feeling. But because the victims, including Rhiannon White in Warsaw, she had ginger hair. She didn't stand a chance, did she? She gets nothing on the victim tick box. The top trumps of victimhood in Starmer's warped brain. He's not said a word about it. Not a fucking word about it. He's the Prime Minister. And the thing that unites all these cases is the fact that all of these people entered illegally. Illegally. Either in the backs of lorries or in the boats. They're either flip-flop warriors or they were in the back of lorries a few years ago, including the guy who's been arrested in charge, which we've got to be careful about. That's why his picture's not up here. Safi Dawood now charged for the murder and the attempted murder of another man, but the murder of Wayne Broadhurst. Can you believe it? He was an Afghan so-called refugee. He got his asylum allowed. He was accepted in, I think, 2020, or he came in 2020, but all of them had entered illegally. Illegally. Just like, and people say, well, if they had their asylum claim and then they were okay, John, you shouldn't criticise it. Well, apart from the fact I know what's going on, and so do you. They are fast-tracking people now, accepting them because they've got to get the backlog down. All this stinking, filthy hypocrite with the blood on his hands Starmer wants is to reduce the amount of people. He's now taken them out of homes of multiple occupation, just as I predicted. He's going to put them in army camps, but unlike what I said, which is they should be under a secure lock and key, they're going to still be able to come and go as they want. Is this the kind of Britain you want? Tell me now. Now then, just before I finish blowing my nose, there is just a couple of other things I want to talk to you about before we move on and take your comments. If you've got an opinion, though, you've got to express it tonight. This is the night where we've got to have our say. Are you with me or against me? As I say, welcome to Starmer's Soft Touch Britain, where criminals and foreign immigrants cash in and you, the public, pay the price. It's a shocking reality that this country is now rewarding offenders instead of protecting our own people. We have become second-class citizens in our own country. Hadush Kebatu, the Ethiopian illegal migrant, who, let's not mess about, he sexually assaulted a 14-year-old girl. He actually wanted to have babies with her. Let's make Brazilian babies, he said, right? He's the guy who kicked off the Bell Hotel protests in Epping, then went across the country, which, of course, Starmer said was far right, when it was actually mums, daughters and sisters, grannies protecting their girls. He got deported. And I don't know if you were up, but I was up at 5 today because I've been ill and all the rest of it. Anyway, Shamad, or whatever her name is, Mahmood, bragging, oh, we've deported him, and they're all going on. And I smelt a rat straight away because it seemed so orchestrated. They waited till he got back to Ethiopia, and then they started telling us. And then somebody, I'll tell you it was, got to give him his due, Ed Balls on GMTV or whatever, he asked the question of the minister who'd been sent out to basically say, oh, isn't Starmer wonderful? We've got rid of this monster. And they were bragging because, of course, he'd been on the run. They forgot the fact that he was on the run because somebody within the Home Office hasn't secured the prisons. Mr. Lammy, you still got a job, Lammy? Still laughing, are you, like a hyena? You foul, incompetent clown. Anyway, they kind of skated over that. And then Ed Balls said, well, was he paid to go back? Because Ed Balls knows the crack, doesn't he? And the guy was lying. He didn't know what to say, this minister. Within an hour or so, it came out that we had paid him 500 quid. Hadush Kebatu had spoken to a human rights leech yesterday, or charity. I'd take away their charitable status immediately. And they'd told him that he could get up to £1,500. So he basically said, oh, I'll go back, but if you don't give me 500 quid, I'm going to kick off on the plane. Now, what should have happened then? Immediately at that point, someone should have given him a smack across the metaphorically speaking. But shouldn't he have been handcuffed, chained up, put in the hold? 5 people escorted him. How much did that cost? Surely it just needs 1, maybe 2 old-fashioned coppers. Or what about a couple of SAS men? Or what about a couple of ex-SAS geezers to escort him? You didn't need 5 people, and he doesn't need 500 quid. Oh, we should have said, yeah, we'll give you 500 quid. We'll give you it when we get there. Then when we get there, go, fuck up yours, yeah? But no, not in loving, caring, sharing, giving Britain. They gave him 500 quid of your money. A man who sexually assaulted a 14-year-old girl. It could have been your daughter. It could have been mine. Could have been your sister, your mother. And then, as I say, he'd been on the run. That's still not been satisfactorily explained. I smell a rat. And then the story I want to tell you about today is about a guy called Haybe Cabdiraxmaan Nur. He's another guy who got off the boats in his flip-flops. He lost the rag because he didn't get his asylum claim. They said no to him. So he drank half a bottle of vodka, evidently, went into the local bank and stabbed a man, a father of 3, to death, whilst he was queuing to take out the wages to pay his staff. That's just 2 shocking cases. It's 1 broken system. 3 shocking cases. I'll tell you about Rhiannon White in Warsaw. Stabbed 19 times in the head and in the heart with a screwdriver by another flip-flop warrior. Then we know the other cases that are going through the courts at the moment in places like Nuneaton. And, of course, there was yesterday as well, which we've got to be careful what we say about. How the hell earth has Britain become the Eldorado for illegal migrants? How did Keir Starmer's Britain turn into a paradise for criminals and gangsters and a nightmare for us law-abiding Brits of all colours? No spin, no censorship, just the truth. But I need your views. Is this soft touch Britain? And here's the really difficult question. Are you brave enough to talk about this? I say, there's the 2 blokes on the screen. You see them behind me? There we are. And you can't see because my shirt's in the way. But I've written underneath the picture of those 3 people, guilty. I'm saying Keir Starmer is guilty. He's guilty of neglect. He's guilty almost of treason. And he's guilty of not having a backbone to stand up and say he condemns all of these killings and that it will stop. I'm your Prime Minister. We will now detain people straight away. It is ludicrous that thousands are still coming in every week, at least 2,000 every 2 weeks. They're coming into our country and they're not being detained under lock and key. They're free to roam the streets of our great country. It would appear they're free to rape, sexually assault, murder, and do whatever the hell they like. It's a gangster's paradise. That's that song, isn't it? What do you reckon? I can't remember who it was by. It's a good song. That. Anyway, listen, I'm getting distracted. You can see my cold, or what? I think it was actually COVID. I think I'm getting better. I feel much stronger with it. Good job, because I'm so effing angry. Are you? How dare he use our money in this way? How dare he send out this signal? He's already given them the green light. Come to Britain. It's Eldorado. 4-star hotels and squeezy soap. And now the pressure mounts. He wants to take them out of the 4-star hotels only because he's desperate to make sure he gets elected again. He's not doing it because he believes in it. And then when he puts them into these new army camps and brings more misery to places like Inverness, he's not going to lock them up. They're still able to come and go. I say that's stupid. And I say, look, you've seen these cases this week, just in the last 10 days. Murder, rape, sexual assault, stabbing in the head with a screwdriver. How much more do you want, or how much more will he tolerate? He's got more blood on his hand than Macbeth and Lady Macbeth together. Out, damn spot, out. You right. You need kicking out. You useless, lazy, cowardly piece of PC white scum. Get out, Starmer. Get out before there's a civil war on the streets of this country. Are you with me or are you against me? Or are you just going to let me go mad and you'll just sit there lapping it up? Come on, let's have your views, please. Let's go to Jew Payne. Here's the first comment of the night. Yes, they've blocked everything the cons tried to do, such as the Rwanda scheme. And then that person, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, says, I effing hate Labour. I understand where you're coming from. Just on one level, though, Conservatives weren't much better. This isn't just about Labour. It's about the whole political class. But Starmer is the boss at the moment, so he's getting both barrels. But what I hate most about him at the moment is he's not willing to stand up and talk to the British public. Where's the press conference? Where's the press conference? Where's the little video that he always makes and puts up? He had enough time to brag about, I've been to Turkey, I'm Sakia, and I've been to Turkey, and I've sold some jets, and he'll pontificate about all and sundry. He actually appeared at question time today. I didn't know whether he would, but he did. But then he got beaten up there as well, because he also refused to answer the question about whether taxes are going to go up or not. Well, take it from me, they clearly are. He is a complete and utter scumbag. So I'm asking you, has he got blood on his hands, or is that Gaunty going over the top? Tell me what you think. I want to hear from you. 159 likes already. That's brilliant. Can I just say to you, if you want to donate to help these carry on, feel free. You just go press that little $sign on the YouTube video on John Gaunt TV, or alternatively go to www.buymeacoffee.com. This is the only way this gets funded. A trickle a bit of money now coming from adverts, but this is how you can help. We need the independent media. My God, do we need it? My God, do we need it? Right. I know there's hundreds of you waiting. Hold on. Let's go. Henry Ives, he's a regular. Every day, a new atrocity from an illegal invader. How much evidence do our fools in government need before they wake up? Or do we all have to collectively wake them up with our ballot boxes? Oh, Henry, you're so old-fashioned. If we wait for the ballot box, mate, it ain't going to happen. We need mass protests. We need him out. It needs to happen now. You can't stand back. In 4 years' time, there'll be sweet FA of this country left, my friend. I'm not falling out with you, by the way. Because, as I say, you are a regular and you've been with me a long, long time. But think it through. Don't give him an inch. Don't give him an inch. He's got more blood on his hands than Macbeth and Lady Macbeth put together. There we are, some classical allusions. Diane Barron and Defo, she says. Defo to what? But thank you. He should have had a spit hood on and a straight jacket, says Paul Rowbottom. Exactly, Paul. Have they not? I mean, it's a bad example of one level. Con Air, don't you? Oh, my daughter, Rosie, is one of her favourite films. Is it Nicolas Cage? But you just got to chain him up. Put him in the plane. Put him in the hold. Put him in the hold. How dare he demand 500 quid? And why have we given it him? Human rights? Bollocks to his human rights. He wanted to rape a 14-year-old girl. Then he only got 12 months. Then he ran away. Well, he didn't run away. He didn't have to run away. They let him out. Spit hood and straight jacket. How much would that cost? You really couldn't make this crap up, says Paul Rowbottom. Thank you. I remember feeling the exact same after stupidly seeing a beheading online. The guy from Eccles. I felt dirty. Oh, that's a long time ago, isn't it? So that was the lorry driver. I never watched that, but I understand where you're coming from. Sam, you're talking about me saying I watched the video of the guy being stabbed to death, and it is all over the internet. I regret watching it. I felt I needed to, but once I'd seen it, I didn't need to. Do you understand what I'm saying? How's Starmer going to stop it? He's not going to stop this by appealing to their liberalness, is he? Spineless cowards, runners. Angry isn't the word, says Mark Cavill, 1892. Annette Locke says, I am livid. The man is morally dead. I think she's talking about Starmer. Careful using the word livid. Everyone will think you're a big fan of Fatso. What's his name? You know the man I mean. Lammy. He's a disgrace. Does Starmer want another lockdown? If the imbecile doesn't get his finger out, everyone's going to be too afraid to leave their house. Do you know what, Richard? That's a good point. I saw one of the pink ladies from Epping, I think on GB News, and she's a granny. I presume she was a granny because of her age. I'm not being nasty. But she said basically, people are afraid to go out. Is that the kind of Britain we want to live in? No. Why are the rights or the human rights of these illegals, and that's it, whether you like it or not, it's not racist to say they are all illegal. And we need to change it so that you're illegal because you've broken in. Now, because you are illegal, we will assess your case, but you're staying in an assessment centre and you won't be walking into town to sit on the pavement looking at girls. You will be assessed and then we'll get rid of you if you're not eligible to stay. If you're eligible, fine. That's the way it should be. That's how a system could work. And what I don't understand is that's what every other country is basically doing. Australia, the United States, the United States of America, Poland, Germany now. France are just waving them through because they don't care. Your views, please. Your views. Maggie Young, big fan. This is big. I'm very serious because daily women are being abused. Not just abused, they're being raped, Maggie. Our British men are being stabbed. We're at war, but we don't realise. I've got to kind of agree with you. Sheila Leslie White says, John Gaunt, most definitely, John, most definitely. Craig Urquhart, as I said in a post, John, the 900 in the camos, what's that about? Are replaced in a week. I don't even understand what's a camo. How many times have I got to tell you, Craig? Write the correct word so I understand what you're trying to say. And in fact, I was criticising you last night, but you weren't around. I can't even remember what it's about. So rewrite that and send it back to me, please. I'm sure it does make sense. Oh, camps, he's written underneath. It's a spelling mistake. I do apologise. You're right. 900 in the camp. So what he's saying is you take the 900 out of the hotels, put them in a camp, but then there's another 900. Yeah, unless you turn the tap off, they're going to just keep arriving. That's logical. But our thick government can't see that. Although, as I was saying last night, I no longer think they're thick. This is by design. What is going on is a disgrace. El Trainer 2827, the first thing Starmer the traitor mentioned at PMQs was Jamaica and the boy who died in a mouldy house and Sybil. Not one word for the middle-aged white man who got murdered on his street. You're right. I mean, it was right to mention, as he's the Prime Minister, Jamaica. Of course it was. That was correct. But then the reason he mentioned the 2-year-old was so he could brag that because that was their big initiative today, that they're getting rid of mould in bad rented houses. A good initiative. But you're correct. He didn't mention the deaths. But he hasn't mentioned the death and the mayhem that's happening all over the country, has he? That's the bottom line. Is he in some kind of denial? Because how would you sleep with yourself at night otherwise? Look at this. The donations are beginning to come in. Thank you very much indeed. Joanna Kempton, 6691. She just donated a super sticker on YouTube, £1.99 or a couple of quid. Thank you very much indeed. And not to be outdone, Lord Jim Dandy, 5850. He's just put in £1.50 on a super sticker on YouTube as well. Thank you very much indeed. Every pound, every penny you donate all helps me to keep these things going. It's very, very important. Oliver Cromwell, come back, please, says Mark Cavill, 1892 on YouTube. 25 minutes in and it's going mental. It surely is disgusting. If Starmer instigates coming out the ECHR, am I right? He could send those not legal back. Look, can we stop just fucking worrying about can we or can't we? We're Great Britain. We rip up. I mean, I know today they stopped the move by Farage in the Commons, who was saying we've got to leave the ECHR. Do you think Trump messed about with any of this nonsense? No. He just said, I've had enough of the Mexicans and Central Americans getting in on our southern border. End of, bang, drones, army on there. Here we go. Well, we just got to do the same. And if France don't like it, come on then. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. That's what a leader would do. And a leader has to put his people or her people first. Look at Giorgia Meloni in Italy. She knows she's got more balls than Starmer. That's what we've got to do. And can we stop going on about, the far right, the far right? It's not about the far right. It's about the fact that now our country is under attack. And I don't care about what the rules are. All we've got to do, we're an island. We're the island that won the war twice. I mean, admittedly, with the help of the Russians and indeed with the help of the Americans. But we won. We couldn't rely on Europe. Bunch of pansies. They'd be putting the white flag up. Oh, dear, I'll be up on a charger. I don't mean the homosexual, by the way. What I meant was they got no backbone, like Starmer. No backbone for a fight. Craig Urquhart, the scum that got deported, was given £500 as an incentive to not go to the human rights mob and drag it out. Yeah, that was part of the reason, Craig. You are correct. But it was your money. You should be going mental about it. What's the next one? Surprised the 5 looking after him didn't lose him, says Nigel Gordon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 5 guys went on the plane. 5 guys to look after him. Does it take 5 guys to look after one Ethiopian? No. I'd have had 2 ex-commandos, Marines, ex-squaddies, don't even have to be SAS. And if he one pipsqueak out of order, bang! But then I wouldn't have allowed him to speak. I'd have had him bound and gagged. And I don't give a stuff about his human rights. Let's just remember what he wanted to do. He wanted to rape a 14-year-old girl there, but for the grace of God, he would have done. He would have done. So do I care about his? Because do you know what? I'm getting a little bit fed up of worrying about everybody's human rights around the globe, apart from ours. What about the human rights of the lady in Warsaw, Rhiannon White? She was employed to make tea and give them food. That guy followed her across the car park to the train station and stabbed her 19 times. I don't give a shit about his human rights. What about the human rights of the 14-year-old who's having to live through this all again? How traumatized is she? What about the human rights of Wayne Broadhurst, walking his dog, sees a scrap kicking off, and does what? I don't know whether I'd be brave enough to do it, because the guy has got the knife at this point, a 10-inch knife. He jumps in and tries to help, and then he gets stabbed. And I'll just tell you, he's on the floor in the video, and you can see the bloke. And it's not just one. The BBC reported it, then he got stabbed. Surely you've got to use the word repeatedly stabbed, because that's what the video shows. That guy, well, I can't talk about that guy. But like, for example, there's the other one who attacked the guy in the bank. He just walked in and stabbed him. And that guy, by the way, just in case it matters, doesn't matter to me, but it might matter to some liberals who are watching, was an Asian guy. So it isn't all white people being fascist, far right, whatever. Lots of different colours of people in this country are being attacked. It's an absolute disgrace. Can I just say thank you to Mark Sindre? He's just sent £10 on YouTube on a super sticker. Thank you, Mark. Much appreciated. It all helps fund the operation. maybe pay for me to get private medical care. That's a joke, by the way. Anyway, I'm moving on now. But I love that, Nigel. Surprised the 5 looking after him didn't lose him. Correct. Den Spinks, it came up on the news that he threatened to disrupt the flight. So they offered him 500 quid. That's what I've been telling you. I don't make these things up, Den. I know. And we should have said to him, come here. What are you saying? What? You've spoken to a human rights lawyer? Oh, yeah. When was that? Last night. Oh, yeah. What did they say? They said that I could get up to £1,500. I thought this fucking idiot couldn't speak in English. He suddenly acquired superb English. And so the Home Office go, oh, well, don't kick off. We'll give you 500 quid. That's a year's salary back from where you come from. I bet you then he said, all right, but I want it in readies, used ones, used tenors and fivers, and I want it now. Because otherwise, they said, we'll give you it when we get there. And then, well, they wouldn't, but they should, then refuse to give it him. It's unbelievable. And then people are saying today, I put it up on this, and some idiot came on my Facebook and said, you're beneath, that's beneath you, John. You're suggesting it was Starmer who gave him. Starmer is the Prime Minister. Starmer's the leader. The Home Office works for him, etc., etc., etc. Which bit don't you understand, you thick specimen, right? And then he said, oh, okay then, John, I understand what you're saying. And then he said, but I think your ego gets in the way. You mean the fact that I know the facts and you don't? I'm not, and have you noticed, I'm not naming you and humiliating you, which I could easily do. I've decided not to. I've decided to be a nicer person. Do you want to donate like everybody else is? If you do, feel free. Just click the little $sign and donate anything you fancy, whether it's a couple of quid or whether it's 10 quid or 100 quid. Feel free. Let's keep these things going. I'm really enjoying myself tonight, I must got to admit. I tell you what as well, if somebody wanted to sleep with a 14-year-old girl can get 500 quid off the government, surely somebody could donate 100 quid to Gaunt. Keep these going. Anyway, another issue. Lisa Carvel, good cov girl, the one charged with murder came in on a lorry in 2020. That's right, Lisa. The year when we weren't allowed to go outside without getting fined. Good connection. You're on the ball, Lisa Carvel. And Starmer, etc., were all more bothered about Boris eating a bit of cake. Yes, you are correct. Yes, SAS, that's what it should have been. It's ridiculous. We're the laughing stock of the world. Correct. Notice Starmer's new Lord Ali 6K suit today. What, did he have a new suit on? I didn't notice. I tell you, for somebody who doesn't pay for his own clothes, he doesn't have to look a tramp sometimes, doesn't he? I don't understand it. I don't care either, to be fair. Would Trump put up with this, says Nigel Gordon? No. He certainly would not, my friend. Where are we next? Graham Hatton. Hi, Graham. Where have you been the past few days? Excuse me, I have to keep pausing because my throat is sore. What kind of country have we become, John, says Graham on Facebook. It's a country where you take your dog out for a walk and never return home to your family. Yeah, just to live with that thought for a moment. The most mundane thing in the world. Just going to take the dog out, love. All right, be back soon. Yeah, take care. Be careful. We all say that, don't we? We all say that. It's a country where your daughter leaves for school and comes home defiled by a disgusting piece of filth, says Graham Hatton. It's a country where the streets are no longer safe, and every time we step out of the door, the chances of us returning home safely become less and less. Brilliant. Brilliant contribution. Thank you very much indeed. Richard Pope is agreeing with me. He's saying guilty. Too bloody right he's guilty. That's one of the things I'm asking tonight. Do you believe that Starmer is guilty? Because I certainly do. I think he's got to go. I think he's got to stand down. John, what do you mean almost? Says Massey Fergie 68. I presume that's named after the great Massey Fergusons. My Uncle Bill used to work there, and my Uncle Harry. Two-tier spineless, whiny runt. Keir is guilty of treason. Thank you very much indeed. Richard Pope says Stevie Wonder, then Coolio. Good job. I know what you're on about. We're talking about Gangster's Paradise, aren't we? Was it Stevie Wonder? Definitely Coolio. You're right. Did the rap over the top. Well said, John, said Edul188 on YouTube. Janet Heighton, they should not be allowed to roam the streets. They want locking up in a secure place. Exactly. Anybody who arrives at Dover before the flip-flops hit the sand, they've got to be detained. Then we try and ascertain where they're from. If we can't ascertain where they're from, they go to get processed offshore. And you know what? I don't care where. But they are not allowed to roam the streets. It's just... If you thought I was being a fascist, or if Starmer thought we were wrong saying these things before, maybe that's why he's hiding. I'd love to get him on a programme and explain to me how it works, Keir. How can it be sensible, logical? Let's go through this. You, by your own admittance, you don't know who the blokes are in the dinghy, right? So let's take one of them out of the dinghy. You're telling me this man of fighting age in designer tracksuits and flip-flops or trainers with a brand new mobile phone and a leather jacket, you're telling me you think he's okay. But then if I ask you, Sakir, where's he from? You couldn't tell me, could you? Probably. You wouldn't be able to tell me. Why couldn't you tell me? Oh, because he's lost his passport. Okay, so let's look at the evidence here. We've got a man in flip-flops, Adidas trainers, nice tracksuit, fighting age, says he's from, well, we don't know where he's from. He admits he doesn't know where he's from. Do you know how old he is, kid? No. He says he's 18. Okay. Can he speak English? Okay. So what are you going to do? Oh, we're going to go and put him in a four-star. We're going to go and take him to Manson. We're going to process him. What does that mean? I'll give him some clean clothes. Well, some nice charities donated. Oh, that's a good thing. Something to eat. Yeah, fine. Then we're going to move him to a hotel. What? We're going to move him to a 4-star hotel or a home of multiple occupation. Yeah, and then what are you going to do? Well, he's going to live there. And then we're going to give him meals 3 times a day. But don't worry, Gaunty, we're not going to give him any benefits. He can have £9 a week or £7.50. Yeah, but hold on a minute, kid. Does he get 3 meals a day? And hot and cold running water and all that? Yeah. Does he get medical attention? Yeah. Does he get taxis to the doctors? Yeah. Does he get a wig if he wants one? Yeah. Does he get dental care? Yeah. Oh, okay. Who's paying for all that, Sakir? Oh, we are. Okay. So is he in secure accommodation in this hotel? No. No. That would be against his human rights. Oh, right. Run this past me again, then, Sakir. So he's got all these human rights. He can do what the sod or do exactly what he wants. Is that right? Yeah. Although he's broke the law. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So next time I go to America and I come back and I haven't got my passport, can I just walk in? Do I need to stand in that bloody queue at passport control? Surely I can just wander it. No, you can't. Why not? Because that's breaking the law. Hang on. Hang on. Run this one past me. Do you see what none of it makes sense? Why is he doing it? And that's why I say he's got blood on his hands. Because if I turn around to him and said, well, what if he's a killer? Like, for example, the guy I was telling you about earlier. Let me just get you his name again. This one. Haybe Cabdiraxmaan Nur, right? He's wanted in 4 different countries for different offences. He's been arrested in those countries as well. But he got himself into Britain in the back. I don't know if he came in the back of a lorry or in a boat, but he got in illegally. And then he killed an innocent man in a bank just because he was a bit pissed off. Unbelievable. Would you rather we spent 100 grand on legal fees instead of 500, says Mark Carter. Oh, Mark, you're such a smart ass, aren't you? Do you know what? Yes. But I wouldn't be spending 100 grand because what I would do is not give him any idea that he could then go to a lawyer that we pay for, you div. You're falling for it, mate. It's not an either or question. He broke into a... What if it was your daughter that he'd wanted to make Brazilian babies with? You'd be comfortable. You'd be asking smart-ass questions like that then, would you, Mark? You disgust me. Annette Locke, I'd say he's incompetent, but he's not. He is cold and calculated. He knows exactly what's going on. She's talking about Starmer. Thank you. Anybody else want to comment on that last one? What do you want to do? Spend 500 quid or whatever? I'm with you all the way, John. The guy's an effing joke. Thank you very much indeed. Ejaw18 says he doesn't care. He's a Fabian Trotskyite. Oh, there's a big word. They gave a guy £500 to go back home. The guy wanted to go home. So why do you give him the money? And then he's put, hush, this is William Patterson on Facebook. William, you're making a brilliant point. They paid him to stop this guy still being in the country, embarrassing Lammy, the clown, who let him out, effectively. The book stops with him. And to stop him embarrassing Starmer. That's why they gave him the 500 quid. To get rid of him quick. It's almost corrupt, isn't it? Am I, again, going over the top? William, thank you for your comments. Nice to have you on board. Susan Fletcher, spot on, John. Thank you, Susan. Tell all your friends I'm here. The more people we get listening, the better. Stuart Lowe, I'm telling you, buddy, this will not stop until they will continue to flood our green and pleasant land. I'm afraid I think you're right. Here's the donation, people. Joanne Kempton, £1.99 on a super sticker. Thank you. I mentioned you earlier. Lord Jim Dandy, super sticker, £1.49 or £1.50. Thank you very much indeed. I've just had another tenner come in, so I'll say who that is in a minute. It's a disgrace. No mention in PMQs by anyone. It's going to kick off, says Mick Keegan. Yeah, Mick, I sat there watching it thinking, surely someone's going to say something. But no. Not a dicky, but maybe they were concerned because obviously the case yesterday, you've got to be careful about contempt of court. But that's because we've got the most antiquated, ridiculous contempt of court rules in the world. Not like that in America. And it needs to change in this country because the internet has changed everything, hasn't it? Janet Heighton, I saw on Facebook his wife is saying, leave him alone. Starmer is a good man. What a laugh. Whose wife said that? The wife of the person who's been slaughtered? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. But if you tell me, then I can comment on it. Tango 97-2. Don't forget, they're also ruining the economy. You're right. He came with nothing, so he should go back with nothing, says Janet. Well, I definitely agree with that. The Bristol Channel, B9N. Gaunty is speaking for Britain here. Starmer, you have to leave for the good of the nation. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Has anybody else had this COVID cold thing, whatever it is that's going around? Every day I wake up and I think, oh, I'm over it. And then I get a bit sniffly and then I get coughs. I'm not getting hot and cold anymore, so that's better. But it's not nice. It's not nice. Where have we got now? A big long one from Jackie Ward. Are you still interested? Do you want me to stop? Because I've still got hundreds of people to get through yet. I wonder if they put back EastEnders for me. If you go back to the year 2000 and someone said to you by 2025 it wouldn't be safe in this country to walk in the street, no one would have believed you. How on earth have we got to this situation, John? Why can't the government protect its own people as it should do? It's just unbelievable. I'm in despair, but I think that's part of the grand plan, to wear us all down so we can no longer be bothered to fight back. Jackie, I agree. This is what I started to talk about yesterday. That's what I started to talk about yesterday. It can't be by accident. Lord Jim Dandy, 5850. John, do you think there'll be protests about Inverness? Yes. I don't think the Scottish are going to take this at all. Staffordshire Classic Scooters. The country's totally knackered. Yeah, but we've got time to fight back, which is what I think we've got to start doing now. I seriously believe that Starmer's a psychopath, John. He's got no soul, no compassion, no empathy, no real, genuine feeling for the victims. His blood is ice cold, says Joanne Kempton. Joanne, I agree with you. William Patterson, but we have the one in, one out scheme, says Bill. Yeah, nice one. I looked at the figures for that, Bill. It's so far, it's something like, what was it? I read it today. It's 44 out, but it's something like 11,500 in since they started the scheme. Unbelievable. Cumbrian Mackham says it's all by design, John, and it's happening throughout Western countries. Yeah, it is definitely happening everywhere else. It's even happening in Japan. But have you seen her, the new Japanese boss? She's tough. She's Maggie Thatcher, isn't she? She ain't taking no prisoners. She's basically said, no, get out. We don't want you. We don't want you diluting what Japan is. Can you imagine if you said that over here? You'd be up on a race charge straight away. Mark Sindri, 10 quid, 9.99. He's given me a super sticker. Thank you very much indeed, Mark. If you want to follow suit, please, just below, there's a dollar sign. Just click on that. Give whatever you want. A couple of quid, 10 quid, whatever. I keep saying 100 quid, but no one's done it. Just see whether anyone will go to the big limit. We'll see. Craig, Urquhart, yep, it's our money, John. We could have had it on Cov to win the league. I've already done that. We're going to win the league, but also I'm putting a bet on that we don't get defeated in the league this year. I know I'm a nutcase, but there we are. Only a couple of quid, bit of fun. Hi, John. Don't forget, it needed 5 armed coppers to arrest Graham Linehan. He was public enemy number 1. Oh, yeah, Father Ted creator. Niven, you're an ex-cop. You've told me before. Would you really need 5 when you were in the cops? Would you need 5 geezers to take back 1 Afghani? No, was he an Afghani? No, where's he from? This one. Ethiopia. 1 Ethiopian. Would it need 5 guys to take him on a plane? No. National strike now. Stop paying council tax, says Pigeon. I don't know if you said that last night. But people keep saying stop paying your council tax. You stop paying your council tax, they'll just take you to court. That is not the way to do it. Strike, that's a slightly different attitude. Where are we next? Pigeon makes a good point now. He isn't even in prison in Ethiopia, and he could come back here. You make a great point. I made it this morning on Twitter as well, which is this. When he got to Ethiopia, they almost had a welcome home party because they said, well, he hasn't committed a crime here, so you're free to go. Off you go. Go and spend your 500 quid. And I've just got to remind you, £500, evidently, I didn't know this till today, in Ethiopia is a year's wage. So we gave him 500 quid for trying to effectively rape a 14-year-old. Well done, Kia. Troubles all around you. Anyway, hi, John. He's seen the damage Rachel from accounts has done to the economy, so you can't blame him for asking for cash. That's the government's check might bounce. Very funny. Maggie Young, our mainstream media has thrown us all under the bus too by not reporting the facts. They're an absolute disgrace. Well said, Maggie. Absolutely correct. Hi, John. That piece of you-know-what will probably use that 500 quid to make his way back to the UK. Yes, Johnny and Sue, I agree. In fact, we should open a book. When do we think he'll be back? He's probably sponsored. He will be back, won't he? He'll just go and get another boat, come across Europe again, and he'll be here. You watch. Like that other one, the Okikoki guy. How many more of them have done it? And what about the fact that it's common practice to give these people money to go back? Normally, 1,500 to £2,000. I find it crazy. Open borders, let them come, do whatever they want. But you just try doing that. That's the bit I don't get. The bit I don't get is they haven't got a passport to get in the country. How do they get in? How come we can't do that? What have we got next? Johnny and Sue just sent a super sticker for a £5. Thank you very much indeed. It's much appreciated. And if you fancy doing it, just press the $sign. Johnny and Sue have donated before. They're very kind people. Starmer is an expert at ducking and diving in between questions. Yeah, he's a disgrace, isn't he, in Prime Minister's questions? He doesn't answer anything. And then he bigs himself up. Do you think he stands in front of... See, I reckon he's probably crapping himself. So he probably has to really steel himself every morning to come out because he knows everybody hates him. Absolutely hates him. Even the people in his own party hate him. Even his... Well, I don't know about his wife, so I've got to be careful there. I'm sure they've got a lovely heterosexual relationship and they're happily married. Of course they are. Of course they are. I wouldn't let any other bloke buy my wife lingerie, but that's a different issue. Oh, suit you, sir. I'm afraid this is Curse 1064 has just donated £10. Thank you very much indeed, Curse. That's very kind of you. And he says, I'm afraid in London, looking over my shoulder on public transport and in the shops, a rape alarm won't save us. We're helpless. No weapons, just like sitting ducks. Khan still gaslights us that crime is down. Yeah, he does. Keeps saying it, doesn't he? Keeps saying it. My daughter works in London 3 days a week. I always call her in the morning when she's on the way because I'm not saying where, but she walks from one station to where she works in a very posh part of London. And she's often on the phone talking to her friend. It worries me. It really worries me. Like when I finish the show now, I shall text her or call her and make sure she's got home all right. I don't want to live like this. I'm sure she probably thinks, oh, Dad, you're fussing over nothing, you stupid old fart. Yeah? Why are we having to live like this? Why? Lisa Carval's back. What concerns me is if we're the only country who do not have a deterrent or deport, we'll end up with all of them. Correct, Lisa. That is what is happening. Why would they stay anywhere where they're going to be nasty to them? They're going to come here. We've got squeezy soap. When they go to these army camps, they're going to have a doctor straight away. I am sorry for sniffing, but it's all loosened up again. For the first time in my 52 years, John, I actually shed a tear today. As a man who normally sorts out issues with people in my family's life, I've actually run out of ideas. What the hell will I be like in 10 years? That's a great point. That is a great point. Now then, Pigeon says, reinstate Mike Graham. Pigeon, you're new to the show, aren't you? You've got to understand something. We don't just have people coming on and shouting out, oh, I support Keir Starmer or support reform, support Mike Graham. That's not what this is about. If you want to say that, go and say it somewhere else. That doesn't mean I'm against him. I just don't know the facts. And I doubt whether you do either. I said this last night. It's all surrounded in corruption, says Pam Millett. You're right. Excuse me. We're going to have to stop in a minute. Starmer's wife. I asked earlier about this, Janet Heighton. Starmer's wife was asking us to feel sorry for him because he's a good man. You're okay. All right. Thanks, Janet. Janet. Well, she has to say that, doesn't she? She's married to the idiot. But I think he's a div. And the sooner he goes, the better. Oh, excuse me. I hope you're not catching this off me. Good job I'm not in charge of removing rapists and child perverts. I've opened the cargo doors over the sea and kicked them out. That's one way to sort it. Annette, thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed for your comment. Right, that's me done. I do apologise. My nose is now... Hang on a minute. Just give it a quick blow. That's been a great show. Thank you very much indeed. Cheered me up no end. Although I don't know how we move forward. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. If I'm still alive. We've got to do something. We've got to get rid of Starmer. That's number one. Jackie Ward's just sent me 3 red hearts. That's usually a sign for me to shut up. Thank you, Jackie, for that. But where do we go from here? Who's that song by? Where do we go from here? It's not Bowie, is it? No, can't think who it is. It'll come. Annette Locke. I bought you a beer, John. Get better soon. Thank you, Annette. That's very kind of you. Yeah, if you want to buy me a beer or buy me a coffee, you just go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt and click on there, and you can either buy me a coffee or a beer. It's £5 at a time. It's a great way of helping me. Thank you very much indeed. And if you want to do it by just clicking the super sticker thing here or whatever it's called on YouTube, do that. But don't forget, the best way to help me as well is to make sure you've subscribed, if you haven't already, to John Gaunt TV on YouTube. Subscription numbers are going up and up and up. Our target is 10,000 by Christmas. We're nearly at 7,000. So I think we can do it, but we've got to push on now. We have got to push on. Oh, Niven Casey, I love you. Haircut 100. You're right. Nick Haywood. You're right. Now, why is that song in my head? I'll tell you why. Because they're on tour in America. They've got back together. The thing is with Haircut 100, when I was a kid, and I must be about 20, I loved that one, which is called Pelican Point, that album. But they were kids, bright, fresh-faced kids. They're all old men now, so when you see them on the YouTube, it's a bit depressing. Mind you, I got the shock of my life the other day. Simon Le Bon's 67. I always thought he was only a year older than me. Well, he's looking good on it. Give him his due. They're still making a bubble too, aren't they? Eh? Oh. Good evening, John. From Tenerife, says Darren. Oh, you're making me jealous. Have a great holiday if you're over there, Darren. I love Tenerife. Say hello to Paul, my mate, in Los Gigantes, if you go up that way. Is it down the Cafe Lake? Is it down the Lake Cafe? What do you mean, Den? I don't understand what that means. John, don't forget, due to the admin error, he didn't even serve half his sentence, so effectively he was rewarded twice for the sexual assault, says Jim Garfield, a big supporter of my show. You're a top man, Jim. Thank you very much indeed. I know you've supported me several times. And Nivell Casey says, fantastic day, eh, John? Yeah, that was the song. Haircut 100. I'm not going to try and sing it. I couldn't sing it even when I had a voice, let alone now when I sound like this. Right, that's me done. That's me done. I'll be back tomorrow at 6:30. Have a good night. EastEnders next. Thank you for joining in. Keep telling all your friends. Keep spreading the word. And if you feel like you'd like to contribute, you know what to do. I'll see you tomorrow then. Until then, if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Don't forget to tell them you love them. I'll see ya. Bye.